What's going on, you guys? Frost here, and I'm back with another video. This time I'm gonna talk about the patch 5.8 updates on my builds, because they're kind of outdated now, especially the Kha'zix one, since that's my first video. Like, they're really outdated. So let's get into the Kha'zix build first. Starting Hunter's Machete, 2 health potions and a warding trinket as always. Then first back is Trailblazer with some boots. If you don't have enough money for boots, you just buy Trailblazers, 2 health potions, because you'll most likely do the clear that will offer you Trailblazers and 2 health potions. After like that, you build Warrior Enchant on your Trailblazers, go for Mobility Boots and another Brutalizer. Yes, still a Brutalizer. The reason for me still getting this Brutalizer pretty much is because it still gives you a lot of damage and a really good damage spike in the early game. Now, after this Brutalizer, you'll go for Last Whisper into Tiamat, into Hydra, same stuff. After Hydra, however, you go for Phage, and this Phage you build into a Black Cleaver. At this point, you'll have 6 items, along with the Brutalizer you have. At this point, you'll sell your Brutalizer for a GA. Because the Brutalizer isn't that useful anymore, because you'll have a Black Cleaver now. Pretty much that covers your armor spread. And the Brutalizer has served its purpose for the early mid-game damage spike, and now when it gets to late game, you can just sell it for a GA and get yourself more survivability and stuff. That's pretty much it for the Kha'zix build. That's everything that's changed. Still, you buy like your sweeping lens when you get your first jungle item and all that stuff. Nothing else has changed, just this build order. I do it now. Then for Hecarim, I go Hunter's Machete, 2 health potions and a warding trinket. This, by the way, Hecarim is an optional build. Like, this is an optional build. This is a build if you want to get like more tanky and stuff, because you're giving up Trinity Force for this build. And Trinity Force is still a lot more damage than this build will give you, because the reason for that is Trinity Force gives you 8% movement speed as well. And 8% movement speed on Hecarim is just, yeah, it's just everything. Like, I only did this Hecarim build update because I have a Black Cleaver in my build, and that's not viable as a 6th item anymore if you're gonna go for Trinity Force on that build. Because if you go for Trinity Force and a Black Cleaver, you'll have a double Phage effect, which is pretty much useless. It's just, yeah, not worth it. Anyway, so Hunter's Machete, 2 health potions, warding trinket, into Stalker's Blade. I do that on the other Hecarim build as well, just that Trailblazer is kind of outdated. Yeah, pretty much, because you used to be able to swap jungle items for free, but that's not an option now, so you go Stalker's Blade after that, and then get some boots. Go for the jungle upgrade Warrior on your Stalker's Blade, get a Sheen, get yourself some mobility boots, and at this stage you'll build into Phage, into a Black Cleaver, and then finish your Iceborne Gauntlet right after. I don't get Trinity Force anymore with this build, because Sheen into Iceborne Gauntlet, you have the Sheen proc, and you'll have the movement speed increase from your Black Cleaver, so that's pretty much everything you need, and only thing you're missing from your like Trinity Force right now is getting that 8% movement speed, which is really good, don't get me wrong. And I'd still consider going the other build, like the build in the video that I described over on Hecarim, still, because just Trinity Force is so strong. Alright, so Iceborne Gauntlet into Spirit of Visage, into finally the Randuins, and that will be my full build for this Hecarim. Like, this is an optional build again. This is not a must. It's a strong build, but the other one is still very strong. Because you can end up with Trinity Force into, like, the other build than this is. You can end up with a Stalker's Blade Warrior with Trinity Force, Mobility Boots, Randuin, Spirit Visage, and a Zephyr. And you'll have a lot of movement speed increase. Or something like that. You can still go Hextech Gunblade, you can still go Frozen Heart, everything like that. It's still really good build. But just this is the Black Cleaver option now. You cannot go the other Black Cleaver in the 6th item anymore, because, yeah, like, that Black Cleaver doesn't work that way anymore. It's not gold efficient, it's not efficient enough. Right, and finally for my Vi build, this is a completely updated build, and this is the build I do now. The build in the video from Vi is like useless right now. The first build I use on the Vi video is a build I will never go again, because it's just not as, this is just the build now. Right, I start off with a Hunter's Machete, 2 health potions and a warding trinket. First back is like a Trailblazers upgrade with maybe some boots. It depends. If you don't have the money for boots, then don't buy boots. You can buy them later. Alright, then you upgrade your Trailblazer into a Warrior Enchant for the extra damage, and this still remains the same. Also, as soon as you get your jungle item upgrade, switch your trinket out. and to a sweeping lens with upgrade that as fast as you can, obviously. And then you go Cutlass into Blade. Instead of going Cutlass into Brutalizer now, just go Cutlass straight Blade. And after Blade you go for Phage and build that Phage into a Black Cleaver. It's not like... You don't need to build tanky anymore before, like, when you're finishing your Black Cleaver, because it gives 400 health now, which is a lot of health. So, it's tanky enough for this stage of the game to get just straight Black Cleaver, which is really, really good, actually. Alright, after Black Cleaver you go Ninja Tabbies, or Mercs if you're against heavy CC, obviously. And after that you go build your tank items. Get your Randuins, get your Spirit Visage. Whichever one you get first depends on, again, what you're up against. If you're against more AP, get Spirit Visage first. If you get more AD, get Randuins first. All that good stuff. And then, in the end, I used to sell my jungle item for Trinity Force. But since it will be a double Phage effect if I go for Trinity Force, I don't get it anymore. I just sell my jungle item for Lost Whisper now. I get Lost Whisper over anything else, because Lost Whisper gives you a lot of armor shred. And you have the Phage effect already. Like, I get that Sheen is good on Vi, and there are arguments to maybe made for getting that item. But then again, like, getting Iceborne Gauntlet on Vi isn't that useful, in my opinion, because it will pretty much cripple a lot of your damage. I've discovered that it cripples a lot of your damage, so that's, yeah. Getting Lost Whisper is just an overall damage increase, because you'll pretty much one-shot anyone with Lost Whisper with your Lost Whisper Blade and Black Cleaver. And you'll be tanky enough with just Ninja Tabbies, Randuins, and Spirit Visage, so that's fine. That's just... Yeah, Lost Whisper is the best final item in my opinion. Like, as far as I've tried, it's the best. By the way, for Rek'Sai, like, I've just edited the video because all you have to do on Rek'Sai is just, instead of getting a Brutalizer, just get a Phage and build that into the straight Black Cleaver. There's nothing else that's changed about that build. It's just stayed the same. Alright guys, this was my item build update video for patch 5.8 with the new Black Cleaver. If you've enjoyed this, please give it a like and share it with your friends. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!